Let's face it, a job search is a dreadful time in our lives. And it's harder when you're a newcomer to Canada. Expenses are now in Canadian dollars and you're eating into your savings while you look for work. So what can you do to end a job search quickly while getting that job in your dream company in Canada? Having a great resume is important, but what if you could contact the hiring executives directly and not just stating your interest in the role, but using the right words that compel them to pick up the phone and call you? Let me tell you how I got my first job in Canada. I was applying for a role in my industry at one of the largest telecom companies in Canada. I knew there would be hundreds of applicants for this job, applying both internally and externally. So after applying for the job online, I researched and discovered who I thought was the recruiter and reached out to her directly through email. Turns out I got the wrong person, but she referred me to the right person via email and we started talking. Turns out the position that I was applying for had already been filled, but he said that a new higher level position opened up that had not been advertised just yet that I might be a good fit for. And that's what we call the hidden job market. One thing led to another and I got the job. A year later, I met the same recruiter at a training event and he recognized me. And when I asked him, what was it about my application that compelled you to call? I'm sure there were hundreds of other people competing for this job. He said he honestly couldn't remember the specific details of my application, but all he knew was that because I was referred to him by his colleague through direct email, that's the only reason he reviewed my application and decided to give me a call. This course is about teaching you how to contact the people who have the power and authority to hire you directly. Why rely on an online software to decide when you get the interview when you have the power to make that happen yourself? What we will be covering in this course is the tools you need to discover the contact details of the hiring executives, the basic structure of every email or cover letter that you write that will be reviewed by the hiring executives no matter what industry you're in, various options that you can use in your writing that you are comfortable with, and finally, how to address any shortcomings you may have, such as lack of Canadian experience or employment gaps or being overqualified. You don't have to be an expert writer in sales or marketing to do this course. I teach you a consistent structure that anyone can apply and tailor to the style you're comfortable with. Remember one important factor: hiring executives in Canada hire for personality first and qualifications second. The direct email to them allows them to get an insight into your personality from the style of your writing, and that is something a resume just cannot do. A resume will explain how you're a good fit for the role. An email or cover letter directly to them will explain why you want the job in the first place. And this is just as important to the hiring manager. So remember, if you want to work for one of the top 100 companies in Canada, so does everyone else. Having a great resume is part of the solution, but the direct communication to the hiring executives will make you stand out and get your phone ringing for that interview.